Welcome back to the Ace Arcadia YouTube channel. Without further ado, I'm going to jump right into my April pickups. I know this is June. My April pickups and my May movie pickups. And starting off, I had first got The Jacksons from 1993. You got Lawrence Hilton Jacob, Angela Bassett, Holly Robinson, Jason Weaver, Billy D. Williams, and Vanessa Williams. It's a really good movie about the pretty much the Jacksons, a little bit on Michael Jackson as well. I think Jermaine Jackson actually produced this. Second up, got April Fool's Day, a little horror movie, I guess you can say. If you've seen it, then you know what happens at the end. But it's still one of those movies, worth checking out. This next one I have not yet watched, but I heard about it. It's pretty much a British film. It's called Skeet, and that's that. Let me look at this real quick. Special feature, blah blah blah. Say it's supposed to be pretty good. I still haven't checked it out. It's still in plastic, but I plan on watching it. I got so many movies that I think in July after July I'm going to take a break from buying movies and just straight start watching a lot of this stuff. Time is short. My next movie here is a classic from 1983, starring Dan Aykroyd. You also got T.C. Carter in this bad boy. Who else is in this? Howard Hesseman from WKRP in Cincinnati. You might know him as that DJ. Dr. Detroit from Shout Select. Next up, I had got Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, the widescreen version. Next up, this was supposed to be a Shout Factory, but I had got my money back. I bought this from Amazon. This next one here, Toby Hooper movie, Invaders from Mars. It's just a regular version of it. Like I said, it's supposed to be in the Shout Factory, but it was misadvertisement, so I got my money back and got this one for free. Next up, got Angelina Jolie and Johnny Depp in The Tourist. It's a pretty good little action movie there. Next up, got Adrian Brody with Beyonce in Cadillac Records. Basically kind of like a biography, kind of true story, I guess, in a way. You never know with Hollywood these days, what they amp up and what they don't. Next up, we got Burt Reynolds, Roger Moore, Farrah Fawcett, and Dom DeLuise. Matter of fact, this is a 2-movie pack from Umbrella Entertainment, and this is Cannonball Run 1 and 2. You also got Sammy Davis Jr. in there. In the sequel, you got Frank Sinatra and everything. So it's a real good movie. I like movies where it's a race or people are just trying to get to some destination. Just all kind of chaotic stuff going on. Next up, this is a movie I always kept hearing about. Now I finally got it from Severin. And this is basically, this is a British movie as well. Basically when during the 80s or whatever, the Cold War stipulation or things that was going on, people were afraid of a nuclear war happening. So back in the 80s, this is Threads from 1984. Yeah, so this is Threads from 1984. Next up, a classic with Al Pacino. This is the 4K version from 1973. This is Serpico. Good little honest cop. Got to deal with unhonest cops around him and a lot of other stuff. It's a really good movie. Next up is a 4-movie pack. I didn't even know it was 4 movies until recently. But the first 2, American Tail and Fievel Goes West, I definitely seen. But the other 2, The Treasure of Manhattan Island and The Mystery of the Night Monster, I have never seen. Still haven't seen. This is still in plastic. Plan on cracking into that someday soon. Next up, I got a trilogy pack here. The Mummy, And after that, I got another trilogy pack here, Lethal Ladies 2 collection. It's basically some Roger Corman's cult classics here. We got The Arena, Fly Me, and CoverGirl Models. Supposed to be some like what do you call it? Exploitation type of movies from the 70s or whatever. So 2 disc set. Next up, got one here. Bruce Willis classic. What year is this? It was 97 or 98. No, it's got Bruce Willis, Chris Tucker, Mila Djokovic, and Gary Oldman. I don't see the year on this thing. Plus, it's still in plastic, so I probably can't see it because of the glare. But anyway, The Fifth Element. Not trying to waste a whole lot of time here. Nice little sci-fi movie. Next up, my favorite in the series. I know a lot of other people like the one I showed earlier, Empire Strikes Back, but for me, it's Return of the Jedi, and this is the widescreen version. Plus, it got my Yub Nub song that the Ewoks bust out at the end, started singing and playing bongos and all that stuff. That's my Return of the Jedi. I don't care for that other one. Next up, we got one with Joseph C. Phillips, Tommy Davidson, and Halle Berry. Strictly Business. Also still in plastic. I've seen it before, and I really enjoyed it. So from there, next we got The Day After. This is also another movie that was basically, about nuclear war happening. This is from 1983. It's actually got some people in here. Hold on. Jo Beth Williams. You might know her from the mother from Poltergeist. You got Steven Guttenberg. The Day After. John Lithgow's in there as well. Next up, we got the collector's edition of the Carol Burnett Show, The Lost Episodes. Had to get that. It's classic. My mom was a huge, huge fan of Carol Burnett. Matter of fact, I was born on the day of the last episode. So, if you look that up, you know how old I am. Anyway, next up, we got George A. Romero's, the original, The Crazies, from 1970. Come on now. I should know this before I do. Yeah, 1973. Just didn't want to give out the wrong date. Next up after that, we got Mars Attacks. This is a classic. This has got so many people in it: Jack Nicholson, Glenn Close, Annette Bening, Pierce Bronson, Danny DeVito. You got just a lot of people up in here. Yeah, Natalie Portman. This was a nice little sci-fi movie here. Comedy, sci-fi, Mars Attacks. Next up, I got a 12 movie pack here. Too Cool for School collection. You got movies in here like Malibu Beach, Hunk, The Van, The Pom Pom Girls, Cave Girl, Weekend Pass, My Tutor, My Chauffeur, Jocks, Tomboy, The Beach Girls, and Coach. It's a 12 movie pack. A couple of these I have seen, some of them I haven't. It's basically raunchy comedy, say like in the vein of Revenge of the Nerds or a Bachelor Party. So it's around something along those lines. Next up, got another classic from Halle Berry, Frankie and Alice. Basically, she split personality. We'll just say that. Next up is a movie I got, but I already had. So I'll still show it. Basically, Avengers Infinity War. So now I got 2 copies of this. Although it is between this and Endgame, I actually prefer this one because it just kept going, the flow of it and everything. And it didn't end good for the good guys. So I likes that one. Next up, the Carol Burnett Show. This is Carol's Crack Ups. This is basically when they couldn't keep it together or whatever, because Tim Conway, man, that is one of a kind type of shows over the Carol Burnett. Got that. Next up, we got What's this here? Lorenz Tate with Leela Rashawn, Vivica A. Fox, and once again Halle Berry. And this is Why Do Fools Fall in Love? It's a story about Frankie Lyman and his life story and the women who was connected to his life. I should say. It's a pretty good movie. Let's see something real quick. And this came out in 1998. Classic. Next up, another one with Halle Berry. If you can't tell, I really like Halle Berry. So this next one here is Halle Berry with Benicio del Toro. Things We Lost in the Fire. This is a really good one here. Good drama. What's his name? David Duchovny. Yeah, David Duchovny. Yeah, he's also in this as well. This Things We Lost in the Fire. Next up, this is definitely one of my favorites, if not my favorite James Bond movie, Skyfall with Daniel Craig. Very good movie. Definitely in my top 3 of James Bond movies. Next up, we got Jason Bateman in Bad Words. This is a nice little comedy, spelling bee. It's just funny. Just check it out. Worth checking out if you haven't seen it. This next one I just got on a whim off of Hamilton Books. It's a good place to get your movies if you want to find some movies for a really, really good price. Or whatever. Matter of fact, I got Bad Words from off there as well, and I think Skyfall. This is Project X. It's a sci-fi movie from 1968. So now this is the 3rd movie that I have that's called Project X. The other 2 is about the little chimpanzees with Matthew Broderick, and the other one is the little party movie or whatever. The kids throwing a party in the neighborhood and it just gets crazy. But this is the original Project X movie out of Hollywood. Next, this is a 4 DVD set, 50th anniversary edition of the best of the Carol Burnett Show. As you can tell, it was definitely something I watched when I was little. The reruns and everything, and like I said earlier, my mom, it was one of her favorite shows. So that's that Carol Burnett Show. Next up, this is a documentary. I've been looking for this. I think I found this off of eBay for a really nice price. Used to be on Netflix for a while, but this is Girl 27. And you know, with all the craziness that be going on in Hollywood or whatever, this is worth checking out or whatever. Over 70 years, money and power buried the truth. A lot of stuff in that one. Anyway, next one is a double feature. What's that? Dennis Hopper film, Don Johnson. One of them is The Hot Spot, and the other one is Killing Me Softly with Heather Graham. Really nice suspense drama type movie. Yeah, a lot of suspense. And after all that suspense, next up is a double feature that I picked up. This is the remake to The Crazies and Let Me In. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Let Me In was also a remake as well. So there we go. The Crazies and Let Me In, both remakes. Next up, I got Robert Rodriguez movie From Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino starring in it. Next up is the original to Let Me In. Did I say it? Yep. The original version, Let the Right One In. Both vampire movies. Matter of fact, this is vampire movie after vampire movie here. So yeah, both versions are really good though. Next up, I got a double feature starring Diana Ross. The first one is Mahogany, and second is Lady Sings the Blues. I have not yet gotten into that, but once again, this was like one of my mom's favorite artists or whatever and stuff, Diana Ross. So, and next up, we got The Rock and DC's Black Adam. And next up after that, matter of fact, hold on. Next up, we got Phantasm Collection. This is still in plastic. I got it for a pretty nice deal. It's got the 5 movie set, Phantasm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you got the little booklet thing here as well. But yeah, Phantasm, I had to get that. I really like those movies. Next up, I got the complete series of Courage the Cowardly Dog. This is one of those cartoons that came out when I was like, shoot, pretty much in my late teens, I guess, or whatever. Maybe I was out of my teens, but it was just the story, the little character was just always, the stories that was going on was something that always made me laugh. I'm like, damn, this dog can't catch a break. He living with these old people and just stuff just constantly scaring him. Like, I'm surprised he just didn't roll over and have a heart attack or whatever. But yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog. Next up is Warner Brothers Archive Collection. I just heard somebody talking about this on their channel. This is Judgment Night, starring Emilio Estevez, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Dennis Leary. This is really good. It's one of those movies like you got to survive the night. So, Judgment Night. Next up, DC's Shazam. Another DC movie. Finally got this one to my collection. The movie that really established Henry Cavill as Superman, Man of Steel. Next up, go back to 81? Yes, 1981 with George C. Scott, Timothy Hutton, Tom Cruise, and Sean Penn. Taps. This is a really good one about boys. I think my package just got here about these young men basically going against the system. They're at a military school. If you haven't seen it, it's worth checking out. Next up after that, we got the complete series, the complete uncensored series of the Boondocks, with episode or seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is the Boondocks. Next up, we got another DC. This is the complete first season of Peacekeeper. I still haven't gotten into this yet, but you got John Cena in there. I always hear good things about it. I was like, yo, I got Max, the streaming service, but I still haven't watched it yet. Plan on watching that soon. Next up, we got Julia Stiles and the late Heath Ledger in 10 Things I Hate About You. It's really good. I guess you say romantic comedy. Yeah. Next up, I got another DC movie, the sequel to Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Next up after that, I got this is Now You See Me Too. A little, I guess, comedy, drama, suspense. After that, we got the sequel to Westworld, Future World. A lot of people don't know this, but NASA played a big part in this movie. It's worth checking out if you like Westworld. This is definitely a sequel worth checking out. And the last movie on the April pickup, my April pickups, movie pickups. This one came out in 1985. This was also kind of inspired by, well, let's just say a bad experiment happened at a science plant. And this is Warning Signs with Sam Walterston, Kathleen Quinlan, and Yaphet Kotto. And that's it for my April pickups. Now we go into May. Okay, moving on to my May movie pickups. But first, I want to correct a mistake that I made. I said T.C. Carter. I meant T.K. Carter. That's the actor's name in was it Dr. Detroit that I showed earlier. He also played in The Thing and other movies and TV shows. First off, I got this documentary from off of eBay. The seller ended up giving me 6 documentaries, but it was all for a good price. And I always heard about this one here. An Open Secret, but I also ended up getting a documentary called Amalek, Last American Vagabond, Gaza Genocide, Gage 2, sorry, our leaders are psychopaths, and COVID Land 1, 2, 3. So got 6 documentaries there for a really good price off of eBay. Thank that seller for selling me these. I did see An Open Secret, but the other 5 I still need to go through. Pretty long documentaries. Next, I got the Angry Birds movie. It's pretty good. Nice little animation, something kids can watch. Next, after that, I got The Creator with Peter O'Toole, Mario Hemingway. Actually, I don't know too much about this. I think I kind of picked it up on a whim or whatever. It was like really cheap, and I kind of briefly heard about it, but I'll have to watch it here soon. It's still in this plastic, as well as a lot of these other ones. Some of them I have watched, though. Next is The Experts with John Travolta and his... this was actually where he met his wife. What's her name? Kelly Preston? Am I saying that right? Yeah, Kelly Preston. Yeah, she was something in the 80s, man. She was something. There's movies I picked up that like Mischief. She's in Mischief as well or whatever. She was a really great actress, R.I.P. But yeah, this is the movie where they met, ended up marrying, having children and everything. The Experts. This is a funny movie. It's been a while since I've seen it or whatever, so it's still in plastic. Next, got another one from Warner Brothers Archive Collection. Now, I have the original movie, but I wanted to also pick up the television movie, and this came out in 1985, I believe. I don't see it on here. Don't want to waste any more time. Yeah, 1985, The Bad Seed. And I still need to check it out. I think I've seen this when I was younger, but it's been a long time. But I really like the original, so had to go ahead and get that. Next, I got Safe House, starring Denzel Washington and Ryan Reynolds. It's a pretty good movie. I've seen that before as well. Still in this plastic. Next, my favorite band. I am a child of the '80s. So I picked up their greatest hits, like DVD music videos. That's Duran Duran, greatest DVD. Next up, this is one I have not seen, or I do not remember it. Starring Roy Schneider. It's called Night Game. This is like a thriller, action thriller from 1989. I do need to check that out. Next up is the sequel to the animation I showed earlier, the Angry Birds Part 2 movie. Next up, got another one with Denzel Washington, with Clive Owen and Jodie Foster. It's like a thriller, action thriller as well. Inside Man, pretty good. Here's one with some controversy because of the whole, what's the guy's name? Victor Salva. But I always kept hearing about it, and I ended up coming across it for like really cheap, and I was like surprised because I know it's like out of print. This is from, what's this, 1990? But I think they did it back in 89. But anyway, it's also got a young, what's his name? Sam Rockwell was in this, called Clown House. It's a horror movie, but there is definitely some controversy around this. If you know movies, if you're part of the movie community, you know the controversy around that. So next up, I got one finally on 4K Blu-ray and digital code. This is starring the late Brandon Lee, The Crow. Box cover there. I'm not gonna do all that opening up, but you've seen this. Good movie, real good movie. It's a shame that he passed away during filming of that. Next up, another Denzel Washington movie starring Eva Mendes and Sanaa Lathan. This is Out of Time. Next up, this is a this is a intense, I guess thriller or horror if you're ever in this situation. But this is one here called Frozen. It's a real nice watch. It's one of those movies is like, oh, they don't go to a lot of places, but being in that situation, yeah, it's really messed up. Next up, this is one I haven't seen in a while from Umbrella Entertainment. Put this one out. It's called Monkey Shines. It's also a George Romero movie. It's pretty good. It's been a while since I've seen it though. Next up, another one I haven't seen in a while, but definitely used to watch it when it came on TV quite a bit. Starring Anthony Michael Hall, Robert Downey Jr., and Uma Thurman. That would be Johnny B. Good. And next up, got one. Now this is a double pack also from Umbrella Entertainment. I laugh because the second movie I really enjoyed, but when I was younger when this came out, the first one it kind of scared me or whatever and stuff. So this would definitely be a movie that scared me when I was a youngin, and that is Ghoulies and Ghoulies 2. And next up, I got a live performance from 2005, my favorite band again, when they was live in London. This is Duran Duran, live from London. Next up, we go into another Denzel Washington movie. He's one of my favorite actors, so I'm going to have a lot of Denzel Washington, like I got a lot of Halle Berry. I probably got a lot of Wesley Snipes, a lot of stuff. So anyway, this one is really good. I don't think it's based on a true story. Some of the events might have been based on a true story, but yeah, this got Robert Duvall in it. You got James Wood. I think yeah, even Eddie Griffin. Yeah, it's quite a bit of cast in here. This is John Q on Blu-ray. Next up, got this one. I remember watching it off of VH1. It's like a little movie when they started doing movies and stuff. This is it has Judd Nelson, Eric Roberts, John Taylor from Duran Duran, the bass player, and it was a pretty good movie. It's nice little stories in there. So yeah. Anyway, Strange Frequency. DVD. I heard there's a sequel, but I've never seen the sequel. So next, sorry. Next up, one from 1985, James Bond movie, A View to a Kill, starring Roger Moore, Grace Jones, and View to a Kill. That's also Duran Duran song, A View to a Kill. It's actually the only James Bond song to hit #1 on the charts. Out of all those great songs, Duran Duran's View to a Kill is the only one that held #1 on the Billboard. Now, next up is one here from the producers of Girls Trip and Night School, which I still need to watch Night School. And this is a comedy here with Regina Hall, Issa Rae, and this is called Little. Basically like a Freaky Friday switching places kind of movie. So I still need to watch it. I haven't even seen that one yet, but I always hear good things about it. Next up is one I haven't seen in a long time, and I forgot Corey Haim was actually in it when he was younger. Starring Sally Field, James Garner. This is Murphy's Romance. Right there. Next up, I'm just showing this in the order that I got it. Next up is a kind of martial arts, energetic kind of movie, comedy. I still haven't watched it yet. I just know a little bit about it. This is the sequel. This is Baby Assassins. And after that, I got the original Baby Assassins. I need to do a double feature watch of that real soon. Next up, got a classic here in 4K, a Blu-ray 20th anniversary edition. This is I guess you can say it's basically a comedy, but it's got some other things going on in it as well. This is The Big Lebowski with Jeff Bridges, John Goodman. Next up is one I have not seen, and I just grabbed it because of the simple fact I was like, yo, I know pretty much all these people in here, but I've never seen this. And this is starring Beverly D'Angelo, Ed Begley, and Carol Kane. And it's called The Crazy Sitter. Phil Hartman's in this as well. And yeah, it looked like it was pretty funny, so picked it up. I've got to go through it. That's one I have not seen. I definitely need to check out. This next one here is one that's hard to find and to come by. I got a few like this in my collection. Coming from Kino Lorber, and this came out in 1985. This is this is starring John Murray. That's one of Bill Murray's younger brothers, Jennifer Tilly, and this is Moving Violations. Next up, I got one from the 70s, 78 to be exact, the year I was born. This is starring Lawrence Hilton Jacobs. I mentioned him earlier in the Jackson's movie from April, but you'll know him. He played in, other than the Jackson, he's played in, Welcome Back, Kotter, and a few other things as well. This movie is called Young Blood. Next up, I got a collection here, 4 films, horror movie from Vestron Video released this pack, and it's called Wishmaster Collection. Next up, I got this on DVD, but I wanted to go ahead and upgrade it to Blu-ray. Movie with Kevin Bacon, Jamie Gertz, and this is Quicksilver, from the movie from the 80s. Now I got one here starring Sally Fields. This is I think this is a movie about basically like multiple personalities, mental health kind of things. So yeah, 13 different personalities, one woman, the electrifying true story. So this is based on a true story, and this came out in, what was it, 1977? Yeah, 1977. And this is the 30th anniversary 2-disc special of Sybil. I heard this is good. I may have seen this, I'm not too sure. I will have to get it out of the plastic and check it out. Next up, this movie, oh boy. I got this, I heard about it, and I was like, how obscure could it be? How absurd could it be? It's definitely dark comedy. It's not one for everybody. This came out in 2017. If you got kids in the room, you might want to get them out, because the title of this is, I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. The title of this movie is called Assholes, and it is definitely it's got some dark comedy. It's not everybody's thing or whatever. Hell, when I got it, I was like, oh man, what did I do? But it's something. I'll just say that. And the last movie I got for May is one starring a very young Keanu Reeves. And I guess he's smart, musically talented, straight A grades with cool parents and a beautiful girlfriend, popular school student, blah blah blah. Anyway, yeah, this is one of his first movies from the 80s, 88 to be exact. This is Permanent Record. I do have to check that out because I do not remember ever watching that ever. So that is my May movies collection. When I do my June one, it will be on Sunday, June 30th, next Sunday. And I'm going to get that on out the way because I got other things I'm trying to get lined up and out of the way. I thank you for being subscribed to my channel, checking out my movies. If you've seen any of these movies, leave a comment. If there's a movie that you would like to see or whatnot as well, let me know. I do plan on doing some other stuff with, as far as collecting all these movies. I need to stop and actually watch some. A lot of them I did watch from out of the March pickups or whatever, which it was like 164 movies. So I've been binging a lot of that stuff as well as watching stuff off of the streaming services, which I'm almost ready to let some of those go, because having physical media is more the way to go, in my opinion, or whatever stuff. But anyway, that is the video. Thanks for watching again. Ace Arcadia, I'm out.